And welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the very final, the very last Loshak in the Bag show for 2017. It's been a great run, a wild run, a lot of picks, a lot of losing, but a little bit more winning than losing, right?
Hey, yeah.
A lot of organic likes and a little bit more bought dislikes, right? It's been a wild ride, you know. A bunch of shows we did where we were calm and cool and collected. A few more shows than that were a little bit crazy and wild and where we were losing our mind a little bit, right? Which is how I'm feeling right now. Jimmy the Bag. We got Bulls, MMA, college basketball starting up again, and overall, my record in college basketball on the year is phenomenal. But I took it on the chin yesterday, Junior. I don't know if you tracked that or noticed it. I did take it on the chin. Look, when I'm giving 25 or 30 picks a day, a lot of them doubled up and correlated. You're going to have those days. Yesterday was down about 9 or 10 units, but the day right before we took the break, I wound up 9 or 10 units. So I'm going to have some of those 9 or 10 unit swings. The way I do college basketball. I'm probably going to take it easy a little bit in January and then pick up the pace in terms of the amount of picks in February, because things can get very tricky. When conference play starts, teams make adjustments. A lot of players that are suspended for 9 or 10 games or whatever come back. You know what I mean? So right when conference play starts, things can be a little bit weird, a little bit funky, right?
Yeah, I'm excited about conference play to get more information.
Yes, absolutely. So January in general tends to be not that great of a month for me in college basketball. February, as I've told you, Jim, whether I had a good year or a bad year, February is always positive for me, and March is almost always positive as well. So overall, I'm looking forward to how things are going to go in the new year. Thanks so much to all of our regular viewers. I haven't even been able to pick up the we got everything going on. We got Bulls, we got MMA, and all right. So let me just bring up the show here. Turn off the sound and let me look at some comments, and I will review the college basketball picks that I did tweet. There were just 9 today, right? I'm still up, it's just so funny how that happens. I feel like I'm getting nervous about college basketball just because I lost 10 units yesterday. I'm still up 26 units on the year, Jim. You know what I'm saying? College basketball.
That happens.
Yeah.
That happens because when I was down 11.7 units in NBA, if I had got down 20 units, I would have gone back to Canada. I'm not joking.
Really?
I can't handle it.
Yeah, I know.
I can't handle it. It's embarrassing, but I can't sleep when I'm losing, and so I get it. And then you get gun shy, and you don't go with your gut. I always find when I'm winning, I make sharper, smarter decisions, and when I'm losing, I don't have balls to make decisions, and then I take bigger risks when I don't need to.
Because you're every day you're gonna have to sit in front of a camera and say, "Hi, my name is Peter Loshak. I'm a massive jerk off. I'm down 25 units in NBA. Welcome to today's show." I mean, how can you do that? You know what I'm saying?
You can't do that. You need great friends to give you inspirational talks.
Absolutely. So that at the very least you can say, "I am up half a unit in NHL," and that is good enough for me. All right, and yesterday, of course, in college basketball, in all sports, but especially in college basketball, especially if you're doing first halves and stuff, a lot of 1 point and half point losses, right? And there were some plays I doubled up on that I maybe shouldn't have. Other plays that I probably should have doubled up on. I had a bad read on the South Florida game. And unbelievable. Do you see what?
I take the blame on Northern Arizona. Max even followed me too, and I take the blame there. I really thought there was a good spot with a double-digit home dog, and I really truly take the blame, and I apologize to him.
Yeah, and did you see what happened? I mean, this is classic college. We're going to go on to the picks today, but just the Eastern Kentucky Jacksonville State game, right? Yesterday, I had 4 picks on that one. I had Eastern Kentucky first half full game, and I had the first half over and the full game over. The first half over was just 62.5. I looked at the scoreboard, and with 6 minutes left to play in the first half, Eastern Kentucky had 4 points. It was unbelievable. They scored 41 points in the first half. And you know what happened, Jim? They came back, scored 88 points in the second half, and I missed the full game over by a half point.
Oh, Jesus.
Classic college basketball.
Did you see what happened to me with Creighton yesterday?
Oh, yeah. Classic
They didn't score
basketball.
a point in the last 3.5 minutes. They were up 11 going into the half, or 12 going into the half. I had them plus 5.5.
That's right.
And they lost by 6 fucking points. It was... Very disappointing.
But enough bitching and complaining. The good news is I'm up 26.5 units in college basketball. Jim has roared back in NBA with another big win. Unbelievable. Everyone was against him, including me in my mind, and it was looking like a terrible play until the complete collapse. And I'll be damned if once again Jim didn't come back with another winner in NBA. Jim also had a small winning day in NHL, which boosts him up a couple of more units. And I had a losing day in NHL, but I'm still up 8 or 9 units on the year. So overall, things are positive, Jim.
Things are positive.
Yeah.
I'm going to really, truly enjoy being in the black in every sport because I'm so barely in the black in NCAA basketball and in NHL. So I'm just going to enjoy it. And but I'm so excited about the new year. I'm so excited about sitting beside you. I'm so excited about capping with you guys. I'm so excited about Larry over there, our producer. I love all this shit. And I couldn't be enjoying this more. And I was here at the office 4:45 in the morning. I'm fucking ready to grind every day, and I love it.
James Ross says Loshak in the bag, best show on the planet. All right, let's get into it. Can you just, what's your first? Well, let me see what the first comment is you have there. Is your first comment from What's Up, Jimmy? It's Friday. It's double black time.
Yeah, it's my boy James Ross, man.
Right. So all right, so. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. I did tweet out 9 picks in college basketball. Hopefully, it'll be okay. I did tweet out Siena first half -1, -110. That is kind of a similar pick to the Oakland game yesterday, which I gave on the first half and did not have the ball stake on the full game. And Jim did take it on the full game and had a winner on that one. So yeah, I did. I just feel like Siena, is just a better team than Marist. Marist got blown out twice recently in their last 2 games. Now again, funky things can happen when conference play picks up, and Marist as a small home dog here might be a trap. So I didn't double up on it, but I did take Siena on the first half, and I did the same thing with Iona against Niagara. Iona is a strong first half team, and I think Iona is more likely to come out here, playing strong in the first half than they are to win the full game. So I just want to take it one way. I took Iona first half -1.5, and Siena first half -1. Then I took 2 totals, 2 unders that I doubled up on. Idaho, North Dakota, first half under 71 and the full game under 150. And I also took ULM, Arkansas State, first half under 68 and full game under 144 -112. Let me see if those lines have moved a bit. Let me see. The Idaho game, it seems like it moved against me. Let me just find that one.
Yeah, Max is wondering why you're not going full game Siena.
Lack of balls. Lack of balls, just like yesterday with Oakland, right? I was like, man, because I've gotten burned so many times being on the wrong side of information with small road favorites in the beginning of conference play. And the only reason I'm not taking them full game and doubling up, same reason that I didn't do it with Oakland yesterday. Lack of balls. That's it. That's the only reason.
If I had doubled up with Oakland too, I would have been had taken care of the day. But I hear you.
So the Idaho North Dakota game is a little bit wacky. It went up to 151. Now it appears to be coming back down. Again, a lot of this stuff in college basketball is educated guesses, and you forget. Remember, these are 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. They don't know what the hell, unless they're paid off. They don't even know what the hell's going on most of the time. You know what I mean? So how can we know what the hell's going on most of the time? You're making educated guesses here.
Yeah.
I mean, if you talk to the players right now on Idaho or North Dakota and you ask them, are you guys going to play fast-paced or slow-paced? Probably right now they'd be like, the hell if I know. I don't even
pace.
I didn't do my homework for the class tomorrow. My girl's bugging me, or I don't have a girl, or I mean, the whole thing is just a big clusterfuck of educated guesses. So
Native Queen says, "Come on, Pete, you got some balls."
I got some balls. Maybe I will give on Siena by the end of this show on the full game as well. Yeah, and it's just, if you look at the Milwaukee game, they did kind of come back a little bit at the end of the second half, and then they wound up getting blown out. But and thanks. So this is a special shout out to Native Queen, who takes the time to always remind us to be positive in our words and our thoughts and our action. That's absolutely true. You want to be realistic, but you definitely want to be positive, right?
Absolutely.
All right, so that's a special individual Happy New Year's shout out to Native Queen, and a big thanks for that, because I know I need to be reminded of that myself.
Corey Jean has come in saying Siena plays better in the second half, Pete.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I just think that that Siena has a big edge here. I might throw on Siena on this one on the full game as well. All right, getting back to the ULM Arkansas State game again. These are two teams that not juggernauts on offense, and I'm thinking that that's a different game. That's the Louisiana Lafayette game. The Arkansas State game has not really moved at all. So we'll see how that turns out. And then I also did give Northern Colorado -5, -113. Eastern Washington is Northern Colorado is a team that it kind of like I like looking at teams that have done well against like Wichita State. Like Arkansas State did well against Wichita State, and I believe Northern Colorado did as well recently. Northern Colorado's at home, and I think one way or another they're more likely than not to pull out a win there. So I gave that one 5 -113. I also did give Arkansas State -3.5, -110. And I also gave Indiana -23.5 over Youngstown State. Of course, Indiana very recently lost outright to IPFW, right? And that's an interstate rivalry. That did not sit well with them. They came back in their next game and got a margin cover as a double-digit favorite. And I think that's more likely than not to happen here as well, because the line's bigger, but their opponent is terrible. Youngstown State has gotten blown out repeatedly by all manner of teams here. And, if Youngstown State gets down 15, I could see them, throwing in the towel, and Indiana still smarting from the IPFW game. So I took them, and a bunch of my no balls, non-plays from yesterday were on sides that some of them were big favorites. I liked UTSA against Rice, and I didn't have the balls to take them. But here in my leans category, I had the first half in the full game. Marshall, I like them minus the points. So on the other hand, Creighton was also in my leans category. Leans column, and I would have.
But I think with Creighton, after watching them so much this year, they overwhelm teams with their speed in the first half, and then the coaches create a game plan to take them out in the second half. From now on, anytime Creighton's a dog against a better team, I'm going to take them only on the first half. They always seem to excel there.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, man, I'm looking at my leans from yesterday. I didn't make as official picks. I had UTSA twice. Those are both winners. Marshall -11. Those were both winners. The Temple game, we talked about that. Remember, I said this has first half under, and the full game goes into the 160s written all over it, and that's exactly what happened. And here I have the Temple first half under in my leans column as a win, and that one I didn't have balls. So yeah, I'm going to try to have a little bit more balls with some of my leans today as well. But as of right now, that's it. Siena first half -1, -110. I might throw on the full game there as well. Iona first half -1.5, -110 as well. Northern Colorado -5. Arkansas State -3.5. Indiana -23.5. And Idaho, North Dakota first half under 71, full game under 150. And the ULM Arkansas State game first half under 68 and full game under 144. As far as my leans that I might be putting on, let me just bring up my little. Oh shit, where did it go? Where the hell did my leans go? Oh, there we go. As far as my leans, Siena on the full game is definitely a lean. Then Iona Niagara first half over. I had a winner with that one with the similar game, Detroit and Wisconsin Green Bay yesterday on the first half over. Another one where I didn't have the balls to give the full game as well, which also cashed. That has a similar feel to it. Iona and Niagara, not as strong of a play, but a similar feel to it. And as far as the big games tonight, Baylor's getting 8 points at Texas Tech, and I don't quite understand that line or the line movement. I was thinking someone might be out for Baylor. Jimmy the Bag, I know you didn't have time to look into college basketball today, but this is a line where Baylor and Texas Tech, I don't see that big of a talent discrepancy here, and Baylor's catching 7.5 or 8, bet up from 6, and I'm not exactly sure what's up with this line movement. It kind of reminds me of the Creighton line movement.
I couldn't believe it either. And I was almost, and I don't do it ever, but I was almost just going to hammer it as soon as I came on here, even though I hadn't fully capped the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to just do a quick look on the college injuries to see if there's something that I might be missing.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of the Creighton game yesterday, which I stayed off of because of the line movement, which in retrospect was probably not the right move. I mean, Creighton was probably, even on the full game, a 60 or 65% in retrospect, play there. I'm thinking the same thing here. Caleb Ford asking Loshak, Iowa first.
It's their big Luau Akil Jr.
Yeah. That makes
Terry Maston with his hand is upgraded to questionable.
Yeah. I would still be leaning that way as well. And in the Texas game, Texas-Kansas, big clash tonight. It's a low total. The total's gotten bet up, but I was thinking about a shot with the under. Definitely not the first half under, but it was 139.5 the last time I looked at that one, and that is definitely in my leans category as well. No 140s, but still 139.5s are there. Texas, we saw that game. They had a recent game, one of those classic games that didn't even get to 100 against Tennessee State. They play very defensively. Kansas can be brought down to that kind of game as well. It's just when you have two quality teams like this, the game can sneak over, especially if one team is up by like 4, 5, or 6, and then you start to get all that fouling at the end, and then the game just shoots over a low total here. But I would definitely be leaning under 139.5 in the Kansas-Texas game. The Northern Colorado game, I would definitely be leaning over as well. Someone commented on that, although once again, when conference plays start at this time of the year, you can sort of see weird stuff going on with unexpected changes in pace, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that with Northern Colorado. But, I'm liking the over on that one for sure as a lean. I'm not going to make it an official pick, though. I did think about it. And I'm not going to make it an official pick. Same deal with the Northern Illinois-Iowa game. Could make a strong case for the over, but my gut tells me that the under might be a play there. I'm staying off of that one as far as the total is concerned. And, that's about it. A lot of interesting games here. And, the Siena-Marist game, another game that, could make a case for the over, but it's a little bit high up there, and I'm going to stay off of that one. The West Virginia-Oklahoma State game is very interesting. I was actually thinking about a shot with the under on that one. A lot of times when conference play starts and two teams that have been very productive offensively meet up for the first time, when conference play starts, we can see changes of pace in terms of how teams play. They clamp down on defense a little bit more at times. Of course, we know what West Virginia does defensively, and Oklahoma State has not been shooting well from three. So I would be leaning under on that one. That's another lean. I don't know if I'm going to give it, but that is definitely I wouldn't even call that a lean. That was a thought that I had. That was a thought. The Texas-Arlington Coastal Carolina game, obviously you can make a strong case for the over, but again, this is one we've seen some low-scoring games from Texas-Arlington recently. I'm going to hold off on that one. Coastal Carolina has also been pretty good ATS recently, so I'm going to hold off on a play on that one as well. I'm just sort of treading a little bit carefully here, Jim. Siena, I like it. If it loses, that's okay. Iona first half, I like that one. Indiana, I think they're more likely than not to get a blowout win there. Arkansas State and Northern Colorado have both looked impressive enough for me to take them as a small home favorite. And then the unders in the Idaho-North Dakota game and the ULM-Arkansas State game, I think it's solid enough to take shots with them. And that's 9 plays, and I might throw on Siena on the full game as well, but I might not. And that's about it. Jimmy the Bag, you have anything about college basketball? Anyone's made some interesting comments or not in the chat box here?
There was somebody was mentioning that the big man had a guy on his show that said Siena was a lock today.
A lock?
Yeah. Max is liking Appalachian State. Mm-hmm. Medicine H20 likes Troy. Mm-hmm. Lou Chase Fox, who we love, is he's on Michigan State team total over 86 and Kansas -5.
Okay.
It's
Michigan State. Are they playing? They're not playing tonight, are they? Did you say?
Yeah, they're playing right now, aren't they?
Michigan State. Oh yeah. Right.
Yeah, -5. Yeah, they're up 25-6.
Yeah.
We need one more touchdown in that fucking North Carolina State, Arizona State game. But we're very close to hitting that over there. Baylor is missing a couple players, but man, I think that's a spot there. I get concerned when these teams like Texas, UT Texas, Arlington head all the way over to the East Coast and play. Mm-hmm. These kids just aren't used to that kind of travel. Yeah. I mean, we saw what happened when Gonzaga hopped on the plane to Madison Square Garden. They got destroyed. I mean, Villanova is a great team, but they got destroyed by 20 points. Yeah, and that wouldn't happen in a regular situation. I wish I had more time, man. I just wish I had more time. It takes me at least 10 minutes at a minimum to cap these games. And
sure, of course.
And I'm so thankful that you did all the hard work on the college card so that we have everything covered.
Yes. All right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to review the comments, see if there are any funny ones, any questions that I want to address, or any insightful ones concerning handicapping value, and then we will move on. Corey Jean starts off by saying Marist is atrocious. Pete, they are atrocious. All right, I'll put Siena on the full game. I'll put that one on there. Sure, what the hell? If it loses, it's okay. I'll look back and believe that I made a choice that I was happy with. Let me find it. Yep, it is still 2.5 minus 115 at Bookmaker. Other places have 3. I'll take the 2.5. Sure, what the hell? I'll take Siena minus 2.5, minus 115. Although if they win, they probably again win by 10 or more, and probably should take the 3 at Pinnacle. And if Maris somehow surprises, which I don't think is likely, I'll take it. Siena minus 2.5, minus 115 to go along with my first half play on them minus 1, minus 110. All right, let's go. Let me look at some other.
They're all very happy that you're doing this.
Yeah, they're all very. Look, yeah, I understand. And the other thing, we'll get to that. I might seriously have to alter my look, Jim.
Why?
Because I might have a situation. You're going to have to give an honest. I can't show the chick's picture, but you're going to have to give an honest opinion about whether she'd be worth shaving for or not.
Okay,
all right?
Sure.
No, don't do it now. We'll do it in the middle of the show. We'll do it in the middle of the show at some point. But the point is, I might have to shave. You think that'll hurt the ratings or something? You think that'll hurt our career?
I don't think it'll help.
Because this is all I got, Jim. I don't have a college degree. I don't have a family. I don't have shit. This is all I got right here, Jim. This is all I got.
I couldn't respect that more. This is all you need.
This is all I got.
But we also need.
I don't even have any friends.
We need loving of the female persuasion.
Not really. I need this more than I need.
Oh, we need this most importantly. Yeah. But you need to be emptied. You should not empty yourself.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, so I might have to shave at some point very soon. All right, let's see. Everyone's liking the. Terroron says, shave that shit. I will shave this shit. Because I can grow something back that it'll take a little while to grow this back, but I can grow like a really if it doesn't work out and everyone wants me to look funny and fucked up again, I can grow like a really skinny sleazy one pretty fast, and that would be funny, right?
You have something very special going on with your look right now.
Yeah,
and also you're winning at a very high rate.
Yes, I know.
So I am concerned. But, I don't want to be derogatory, but right. Women are very important.
Oh, they certainly are.
To our life. I'm not a MGTOW follower.
No, if it weren't for women, there would be no men. And that's the truth, Jim. I just made that up just right now.
That is true. That's Anamanan, what's his name?
I mean, we take this shit. We take, it's easy to insult women, but if there were no women, there would be no men. That's an original thought. That's an original quote. All right,
don't put it on the poster.
All right, let's get to some NBA shit right now.
Sure.
All right. Let's see. Yeah, just very quickly. Maxwell Smart says, "I like Northern Colorado game over." Yes, I would agree with that one for sure. It's just that I could easily see this one being one of those games where I bet it. A lot of them happened yesterday. Where and that happened to me. I tweeted out some other picks at night on the night games. I thought that the Portland game was going to go over. That one went way under. So I agree with you, Maxwell Smart. I'm just not going to take it because I'm treading a little bit lightly here on at this point in the season. All right, but yeah, that was my first thought, and I can understand why that would be. All right, let's see. Other comments, and then let's move on. All right, let's move on, fellas, says David Hutton. Yes, let's move on to what's the next coming up? NBA. Let's move on to NBA. Unbelievable. Jimmy the Bag nailed another one with the Boston money line. It was just an unbelievable, great call, and everyone was against him. But I'll be damned if he didn't cash it. And what do you have for us today, Jimmy the Bag?
I have a few plays, and I feel good about them.
Mm-hmm.
NBA is always tricky. Why don't we just start off hammering them? I like the Bulls tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Bulls have won 9 of 11. Their only 2 losses during that streak came at Boston and at Cleveland. They held the Knicks to just 14 points in the fourth quarter on Friday night. Oladipo will be out again tonight with knee soreness. The Pacers just don't have offense when he's gone. They don't have the guys to hit the big bucket. I'm a big Darren Collison fan, but he does all the little things right, and he doesn't hit those big buckets when you need him. Lance Stevenson played well starting in play 7, 16 points, 15 boards. Pacers have won 3 of their last 8. They're 8-8 on the road and just can't deliver when Oladipo's out. I love the Bulls in this spot.
Right. So but before we get all excited about this, I had the exact same thoughts. The question is, why is this line where it is? And it's gone down. It opened at 3. It's now 2.5, Jim. That's not by accident. Why is the line where it is?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I've questioned some line movements within the Chicago Bulls situation for a while. I can't Reggie's on the Pacers right now. I'm telling you, I do not like this Pacers. I don't see where the Pacers are going to get buckets from. That's just that simple. I just don't see where they're going to get buckets from. We know what happens when Mirotic and Portis combine late in games, they defend maniacally. I like the way Chris Dunn's playing. I've made a ton. The Chicago Bulls have been the main asset to my comeback.
Sure.
I've had them in of their last 9 wins. I probably have had them 7 of the games. And Marrakech City says Indiana will win. Brandon Cummings says Bulls are 8-0 against the spread, last 8 following a straight-up win. Bulls are 4-0 against the spread, last 4 versus NBA Central. Bulls all day. Sean Thompson says keep riding the Bulls. You know what? It's putting money in my pocket, and I'm not going to stop, especially with the Bulls at home, especially at only -2.5.
Now, I took this one on the overnight line. You'll be proud of me here. I took the under at 208.5. It's now down to 206.5 or 207. Obviously, I'd rather still be getting 208.5, but I'm encouraged by the line movement. What do you think about the under, Jim?
And what is the number you're getting?
Now it'll be 207. It's 206.5 or 207.
I like the under.
Yeah,
I get it.
All right. I bet that one on the overnight line, and so I will take it. Chicago under 207, and that is where is that one? -110 at the Greek and a few other places. Under 207. I got it at 208.5 on the overnight line, and I'm going to take it under 207 right now. Let me see what the first half under is, and the first half under is 105.5. 105. I will double up on this bitch. I will double up on this one. I will take the Chicago first half under 105.5. We are using Bet365 now in place of BetDSI. So that is Pinnacle has 105.5, but it's -118. BetOnline has 105.5, -115. Bet365 still has 105.5 on the first half, -110. And I'll double up on that one. I'll double up on the under. And are you going to take the Bulls here, Jim? I agree with your handicapping. The only thing is just that the line and the line movement makes me super nervous.
We knew Oladipo was going to be out for a long time.
Yeah.
And if you look at this, it's not that big of a line change. I mean, it started at -3, now it's -2.5
right.
everywhere.
But that's what I'm saying. When it started, it didn't make any sense to me, and now it's moved even less.
You're absolutely right. It's uncomforting.
Yeah.
But I'm on the Bulls. They took me to the dance.
Mm-hmm. The loyal guy, Jimmy the Bag, is going to take the Bulls. Best line right now, -2.5, -105. -2.5, -105. All right. I guess let's quickly talk about Houston after that debacle last night, the complete collapse. What do we expect from him here? Are they maybe a no-brainer play early, first quarter, first half? What do you think?
It's going to be exciting to see Chris Paul back.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, the problem is no Capella. This guy, and I love what Mbah Mute's done, but Capella's just been a beast, and we talked a lot about him yesterday, and we don't have a lot of time, so I will just move on. But the main thing that worries me here, and I came very close. My plan was as soon as Chris Paul said he was playing, I was going to take the Wizards, and now I've stepped back. Chris Paul could be a big game changer, but the Rockets take a league-high 42.9 three-pointers a game, and the Wizards hold opponents to a league-low 33.9% from three. I like the Wizards here, but I'm not going to mess with Chris Paul coming back. I'm going to watch this game and enjoy it.
Marrakech City says Houston wins today. I'm telling you by 20. I mean, that's understandable, right?
I don't think it is. Wizards always play up to their level of competition and play down. Wizards are 10-6 against teams over 500 and 9-10 against teams under 500.
All right. Let's see. What else do we have in the NBA tonight that is pretty interesting? Let's see. Well, OKC, very interesting here. Someone must be out for OKC because there's been a big line.
Paul George.
Right, Paul George. Okay. But OKC, are they turning a corner, Jim? They've cashed, I think, 3 in a row, right, after being an auto fade for most of the year. Are they turning a corner here, OKC?
They have turned a corner. This is really what we expected from them. They've won 6 straight. They look like a completely different team, especially against the Raptors. The big three combined for 81 points. They won 124-107 against a good Raptors team. In their last 29 games, they were 14-15 in their third quarter, or they were 14-15. And in their third quarter, field goal percentage was just 40.8. In this 6-game winning streak, their shooting percentage is 53.6 in the third. This will be a second straight opponent for the Thunder that's on the second half of a back-to-back. Now, the Timberwolves did exactly what we've been saying they've been doing all year. They fell apart in the fourth quarter, which is just mind-boggling that they continue to do this. I'm so thankful I wasn't on them. I felt like an idiot watching the first half of the game going, why wasn't I on the Timberwolves? And thank God I wasn't. Bledsoe put 16 of his 26 down in the fourth quarter. He's playing very well. The Bucks have won 3 of 5, but they're just 6-9 on the road. I like OKC here, But I'm laying off this game.
Okay, and then what was the other game that I wanted to ask about? Where the hell? What was the game? Oh, yes, that's right. Another team that may have turned a little bit of a corner, New Orleans, right? With Rajon Rondo, all of a sudden things are starting to really click, right? Are they a team? And when teams like that, when they have so much talent, and then they start to turn a corner, they can be teams that do have value on their game in and game out, even as a pretty big home favorite. And then the lines get too inflated, then you go to their first halves, which can have value. Is that what's happening with New Orleans right now? What do you think?
Yes. I'm on the Pelicans tonight, full game. Rondo is clearly a happy basketball player. He dropped a career and franchise record 25 assists on Wednesday night in that 128-113 victory over the Nets. The players on the team are calling him Coach Rondo.
Right.
He's comfortable. He's happy. This is a moody guy who needs to be in the right situation. There's a couple things going on, a couple factors that I really like in this game. First off, though, they looked excellent against the Nets. 40 assists on 48 buckets, only committed 10 turnovers. Turnovers have been their Achilles heel all year. Cousins leads the league with 5 turnovers a game. All of a sudden, the Pelicans have a sick 1 through 5 out of nowhere. They used to be just Boogie and Davis. Now, Rondo at the 1, J-Rue at the 2, each one at the 3. They're all playing with a lot of chemistry. Now, Rondo had many heated exchanges with Coach Carlisle in that 4 months that he had with the Mavericks. I expect him to want to show Carlisle exactly what he was talking about, what he can do when he has his way. Mavericks have won 2 straight, holding good offensive teams in the Pacers and Raptors to 94 and 93 points respectively. They're now 9th in the league, allowing just 102.6 points a game, but they can't score. They're 27th in the league, averaging just 99.6. I like this spot for the Pelicans. I'm concerned at the line, too. I thought this was going to be a -8 situation.
Oh, really? No. I mean, Dallas has been great ATS recently.
They've been great ATS, but Pelicans at home right now, they're going to put up a bunch of points. I'm happy with the line where I'm getting it, and I'm going to take them.
All right. It is a split line, 6 or 6.5. Best line right now is 6 -110. So Jim's going to take New Orleans -6, -110, added on to the Bulls -2.5, -105. All right, let's talk about some other comments that came in. The Houston-Washington game, I didn't even talk about it, but I did actually make a pick and a bet on the under. I took the under, and there's some other people who I got to 220.5, which is, I believe, where it still is, but now it's up to 2. Now it's gone up. It's now up to 223, 224 at bookmakers, so that makes me nervous. But a bunch of people, Reggie and some other people, said that they like the under here. Definitely makes me nervous about the line movement now. But what do you think about the under in the Houston game?
I like it. I like it. I think the big part here is how the Wizards are so good defending the perimeter, and that's all the Rockets want to do. So I see the play here. What number would you get? Well,
I mean, that's the thing. Everyone in chat was saying that they liked the under, and that reminded me that I liked it. I got it at 220.5. Now it's all the way up to 223, 223.5, and bookmaker all the way up to 224.
Marrakech City says Rockets are going to play small. No under on the Rockets. Yeah. They have to play small because Capella isn't in the lineup.
Yeah, I'm going to hold off on that one. And then there was one other game that I also bet that that confuses me here. Obviously, Toronto is off of 2 losses, so you figure they bounce back here. Atlanta's been rolling ATS as well, though. I was thinking that the first half over might be the play here. The total on the game, though, is 217. The first half over is way less than 50% of that, though. It's all the way down at 104. What's up with that? Why is the first half total so low here? And would that not be a good play?
That does seem very low.
Weird.
Yeah. Very strange. Raptors are 12-1 at the ACC, and as Pete said, they've just lost 2 in a row. Despite those 2 losses, they have the best record in the East during December, and they're 3rd best overall behind just the Warriors and Thunder. They're also 3rd in scoring for the month. That's a big deal, 111 points per game. They've won 10 straight at home with an average margin of victory of 13.6, but they're rebounding. A big problem so they're rebounding poorly. They were out-rebounded 52-34 by the Thunder. And now there was a suspension that was just handed down right before the game started. Let me just make sure that was a fact, but I believe there was a suspension.
Okay, sure. I will scan some.
Serge Ibaka was suspended, and he's out tonight.
Okay.
And but I don't think that hurts baskets. I think Serge Ibaka is a confusing player to me. I always think that his toughness is going to help defensively, but he doesn't seem to help that much defensively. I love the way he can spread the floor. I love the way he can go out and hit threes. But, oh, wow. It's a suspension from the team, from an altercation with the Raptors staff member.
Dissension in Toronto. All right, I'm thinking I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the first half over 104. I don't know why it is so much lower than 50% of the full game total, which is all the way up at 217 right now. But I'll take it. Atlanta, Toronto, first half over 104 minus 107. This is probably they're probably suckering me into something here, but that's what I was thinking about doing before the line came out. And then when it came out, I had no idea why it was actually so much lower than the 50% mark on the full game. I'm going to take it. First half over 104 minus 107. That's a line of Pinnacle right now.
Wow. Yeah, and remember that they destroyed Atlanta November 25th, I believe it was, in Atlanta. Destroyed them by 40 some odd points.
Yeah. All right, we do have to get to NHL. The only other play that I was thinking about was an under in Phoenix, Sacramento. They met recently, and as we know, Sacramento can be a very low-scoring team. They met recently. It was a very low-scoring game, and don't see why you wouldn't want to take an under at 210 on this one as well. Do you have anything about that one, Jim?
I already sent the under in.
Really?
I already made the bet. I'm definitely on it. I want it officially. The Kings are a tough team to figure out. They beat the Cavaliers by 14 after losing to the Clippers and Spurs by a combined 36 points. They needed 40-year-old Vince Carter to come off the bench and put up 24. He seems to be over his kidney stones. If you need Vince Carter to provide a spark off the bench, you're in big trouble. They're 8-9 since November 20th. De'Aaron Fox is still out of the lineup. That does help lower scoring. Suns welcome back Devin Booker. He put up 32 points in his first game back after sitting out 9 games. Suns have won 4 of 6. But the reason why I like the under is they're a different team now on the defensive end. They're 30th in the league, allowing 122.4 points per game, but have allowed an average of just 102 over the last 6 games. I love the under here.
All right, 210.5 minus 110 is the line at UWager. Everywhere else has 210. Is this a little bit of a sucker play just because the last game was so obviously low scoring to expect exactly the same thing as what we saw the last time? It's just, but on the other hand, Sacramento has been a pretty solidly under team, right?
They have been, and I had some success 3 or 4 weeks ago taking the under, and then they started scoring, and I started losing. And I just laid off of it. So this is my first time coming back to the Kings under in a while, and I like the spot.
All right, I'm going to hold off on that one, but Jim, you are going to take it the under 210.5. All right, so
I do have 2 plays.
Oh, go ahead.
Two plays that I need to hammer quickly because I know we got a big NHL card. First off, I'm taking the Clippers tonight. They're hoping to have Blake Griffin back. Even if they don't have Blake Griffin back, I'm telling you, this Lakers team will lose and lose and lose without Brook Lopez, and it hurts not to have Lonzo Ball. He was starting to play a little better. Ingram came back, looked good after missing 2 games, put up 23 points, 44 minutes. Kuzma had a terrible night against Grizzlies, 4 for 24, 1 from 11 from the field. Lakers are last in the league from the free throw line, hitting just 68.9%. That's why they're falling apart in fourth quarters. The Clippers have now beaten them 20 of their last 22 meetings. They beat them in the season opener. I like the Clippers. I like the line.
All right, minus 2.5 plus 100. That's the line at Pinnacle. What else do you want to give, Jim?
I am taking the Warriors this evening. If Curry had have played, I wouldn't have done this. They're getting into a nice rhythm right now without him. Obviously, Curry's a star that's going to help the team. I like the rhythm they're in right now. They're coming off that 126-101 thrashing of the Jazz. They've gone 9-1 in Curry's absence. They've held 6 of those 10 opponents to under 100 points, and the Hornets look lost. They've lost 13 of 17 since November 24th. They're just 2-12 on the road. They're bad defensively, 20th in the league, allowing 106.4 points per game, and they're 28th in assists with just 20.4 a game. That's a recipe for losing basketball. Wherever Dwight Howard goes, losses follow.
Minus 9.5 or 10 is the line market wide, so we can give you 9.5 minus 110, Jimmy the Bag.
Love it.
All right, is that it for you?
That's it.
All right, once again, in the NBA, Jim has given the Bulls minus 2.5, minus 105, New Orleans minus 6, Sacramento game under 210.5, the Clippers minus 2.5 plus 100, and Golden State minus 9.5 minus 110. And in the NBA, I have just 3 plays. The Toronto game, first half over 104 minus 107, and the Bulls game, first half under 105.5, and the full game under on that one, 207 minus 110. All right, Jim, let's move on to NHL. Let's start with just one 7 o'clock Eastern time game. So we'll start with that one. Buffalo against New Jersey. Obviously, New Jersey absolutely rolling. Buffalo continues to be a shit show or close to it. What do you think? Buffalo team total under, New Jersey puck line.
I think you're right on both. I don't know actually what the team total under is, and I'm concerned that it'll be a big minus line.
Yeah, it'd be 2.5, something big like 2.5 minus 150 or something.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Devils minus 1.5. They've won the first 5 games of their 6-game homestand. Corey Schneider is playing exceptionally well. I've been saying this the whole time we've had the Loshak and the Black Bag show. I believe he is a top 5 goaltender in the NHL. He's an elite goalie. He can play over, and he's young enough to play 70 games out of an 82-game schedule. He's played each game of this winning streak. He's allowed just 10 goals in that span with a .935 save percentage. Last year, the Devils won just 16 games at home. They've already won 12. Sabres average a league low 2.16 goals per game. They have a -43 goal differential. After a heartbreaking loss to the Islanders on Wednesday, Robin Lehner said, "Everything is predetermined against us." If your goalie is saying shit like that,
I wonder what Native Queen would have to say about a comment like that, right?
Totally. It's the worst thing. It's the last thing you want to hear from your goalie, that everything is predetermined against us.
So why do you guys suck? Well, the honest answer is it's the universe. That's why. That's a you can't overcome that run, Jim.
Oh,
right?
That's absolutely ridiculous. That's the last thing. Yeah. If my goaltender said that, I would open hand slap him in the face.
Right.
I love the Devils -1.5 here. I just hit with them when I believe it was when they beat, was it Montreal or Carolina? They beat somebody 3-1 in their last game. I love that they've won 5 of their 6 home games on this homestand. The 5-game winning streak's the longest they've had this year. They're a healthy group. They love playing each other. I'm telling you, Brian Boyle is fighting leukemia in this dressing room and is on I believe his point scoring streak stopped. But this guy's the loudest guy in the dressing room. He's fighting leukemia. I'm telling you, everything is coming together in a positive way. These guys love being with each other. They love playing for each other. They've got a nice mix of youth and veteran leadership. Because they have so many kids, having Boyle in the dressing room is such a big deal. He's been through the wars. I like this Devils team moving forward.
All right, that's what I was thinking. I bet this one, and I will take that one as well on the -1 line. Jim's going to take him on the puck line, which will be +165. The best line, Intertops. Thank you so much. Intertops beating even Pinnacle's line. Pinnacle has +161. Intertops -1.5, +165. And I'm going to take New Jersey on the -1 line. The money line part of that will be -174 at Pinnacle and +165 at Intertops. All right, from the rest of the card, the first games after that one start at 7:30 Eastern time. What do you like, Jim?
I like a bunch, actually. I like a bunch. But the 7:30 games don't appeal to me. I came very close to the Rangers puck line, and at the last minute, I just took them on the money line. I'm going to take them on the money line officially here. Chris Kreider left New York's win over the Capitals on Wednesday night with a blood clot in his arm. It was a scary incident. He didn't know. He'd never felt anything like that before. They took him to the hospital, found a blood clot. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. He's having a good year, 11 goals, 11 assists. 8 of the last 14 games. Okay, this was, I guess, a main point that really struck me. There's a couple things that really struck me, but 8 of the last 14 games between these two teams have been settled in overtime or shootouts. King Henrik Lundqvist has better numbers versus the Wings than any other team in the league. 13-7-4 against them with a 1.90 goals against average and 938 save percentage. I don't really care about those stats. It was a note that I don't care if a guy's good against a certain team or not. I really don't care that much. Red Wings have lost 3 straight, have won just 3 of their last 16 games. They're having a very tough time scoring. They now rank 26th in the league at just 2.6 goals a game. They've scored 5 goals in their last 3 games. I like the spot, but not enough to take it on the puck line, but happily take it on the money line.
All right, and that best line will be -109 at BetOnline. I was actually thinking about the under on this one, Jim. What do you think about that one?
Well, Reb Most, first thing he says is under.
Yeah.
It's the first thing he says. I can see that. The Red Wings are having such a tough time scoring. But I think sooner or later, Zibanejad's going to start feeling good again because he came back from that concussion. I like the under. What line are you getting?
Well, it's actually 5.5. The Greek has +100 on that one. The Greek has +100, and the first period under. I like to do that sometimes as well. Would be just -103. Had a couple nice cashers with the Vegas LA game. I mean, the Rangers can score though when they step it up. But what's your take on the Rangers offensively?
Well, I think they're hurting not having Kreider. We've seen them lately. They had the 0-0 game with the Capitals go.
Yeah.
I think if you're getting +100 on I'm gonna take that. That's a great line.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna take the first period and the full game under. The first period under would be -103 at Pinnacle, and the full game under again 5.5 +100. That is the line right now at the Greek. Jimmy the Bags taking the Rangers on the money line -109, and the full game under 5.5 plus 100. That's the line right now. That's the line right now at the Greek. All right, and then the Philadelphia-Tampa Bay game is an interesting one. I had Tampa Bay yesterday on the over. That one lost. I had Philly yesterday on the over. That one lost. I think you had Philly also. You had Tampa Bay, though, on the puck line, and you cashed with that one. Once again, Tampa Bay, a massive home favorite, and maybe this game goes over. I don't know. Maybe this game goes over. What do you think, Jim?
Well, they're both on the second half of back-to-backs, and we usually see more offense in that situation. The thing that worries me about the Lightning is their power plays fallen off for some reason. They're now 10-1-0 in their last 11 back-to-back, and Lightning, when you stay home in the back-to-back, it's much easier. So the Flyers are in a much more daunting situation than the Lightning are in. Lightning have swept just one back-to-back and 5 opportunities. Their number one power play in the league had not converted on 13 straight chances till they broke through last night on a 5-on-3. Strawman was a late scratch. Ryan Callahan's close to coming back in the lineup. Peter Budaj gets a start tonight. I don't really trust him. And then after losing 3-2 to Florida, this streaky Flyers team's now 1-3-1 in their last 6. They're a healthy squad and have no excuse for being last in the Metropolitan Division. You know, I'm going to stay off this spot.
Yeah, you don't like the over, huh? I mean, Tampa Bay has had 2 straight, solid wins as a big favorite, but they both went under significantly against Minnesota and Montreal. You think we might see the same thing here, or?
I'm concerned about their power play, but having Budaj in goal is nice for overs. The Flyers team is not scoring for some reason. They're a top-heavy group, and I'm surprised they're not scoring, but it's just happening. I can see the move. The play makes sense. What line are you getting?
It would be 5.5 minus 110 at Pinnacle. All right, I'll hold off on that one for now. Then Pittsburgh, Carolina. Great call on Carolina in their last game. Jimmy the Bag had them on the puck line. I liked it as well. Didn't have the balls to take it. Now they're at home against Pittsburgh. A very beatable team on the road and a similarly low line for Carolina at home. What do you think on that? What's your take on that game, Jim?
I think, it wasn't an official pick before the show, and I will probably have to send this in, so I'm curious about adding a pick right now. And I don't know why this didn't occur to me. I mean, you're just overloaded with information. But the main thing that's happening with the Penguins right now, their 5-4 shootout win on Wednesday was very costly. They lost Brian Rust, Chad Ruhwedel, and Matt Murray to injury. But the Ruhwedel thing really hurts because now he joins Chris Letang and Jesse Schultz on the IR. It is tough to win games when 3 of your top 6 D-men are out of the lineup. And I think all these games are going to go higher scoring now that the Penguins have 3 of their top 6 defensemen out. They're going to have to score goals to win. They have scored, and the Hurricanes are playing well. This is their second 3-game winning streak of the month. They've yet to win 4 straight. They've scored 4 power play goals on this 3-game winning streak. What is the over?
The over on the Carolina-Pittsburgh game is probably going to be low. Let me just quickly find it. 5.5 minus 110. 5.5 minus 110.
I'm going to take it.
Okay, you're sure about that?
Oh, very sure.
Okay.
So I think all these Penguins games are going to lean to the over. It's just how else you just can't keep the puck out of your net when you don't have 3 of you. And don't like Schultz and Letang are their 1-2. I think they're in trouble. They're going to have to make some moves pretty soon, or they're going to fall deeper out of the playoff spot. I mean, both teams come in at 41 points. They're coming off wins on Wednesday night, but both teams are currently on the outside looking into the playoffs.
All right, so that does it for the Columbus, Ottawa. You have anything on that one, Jim?
I do. I'm taking the Senators tonight, plus home dog. Senators have lost 4 in a row and 9 of 11. Backup Mike Condon will be in goal after Craig Anderson looked awful against the Bruins. Condon is 2-4-4, 3.04 goals against, average .909 save percentage. But they are saying all the right things. I read a bunch of stuff about the Senators, and then they have a lot of leadership in that dressing room. I'm not a Phaneuf fan, but he's saying all the right things. A bunch of these guys, Mark Stone, they're saying all the right things. It's clear something is wrong with this team. They are much less than the sum of their parts, but they have some pretty good parts. I think we may find some value in them at home moving forward. I'm going to start taking them at home. I'm going to keep a record of it and see how it goes, but I'm going to take the Senators at home. Jackets have played in 3 straight shootouts. They're handling their injuries very well, but these are big injuries. Forwards, Alex Wenberg, Brandon Dubinsky, and Cam Atkinson are out. And then on defense, Zach Werenski and Ryan Murray are out. I don't see how they can keep handling this, and I like the Senators as a home dog. All right, the best line I think is at Bet Online, plus 113. Ottawa Senators plus 113. Yes, at Bet Online. Pinnacle has plus 112. All right, and that's it for the 7:30 games, right, Jim? Yeah.
All right, so before we move on to the 8 o'clock games, once again, Jimmy the Bag has the Devils puck line plus 165, Rangers money line minus 109, the Rangers game under 5.5 plus 100, the Carolina game over 5.5 minus 110, and Ottawa on the money line plus plus 113. And I have the Devils -1 at a slight favorite line. And I have the first period under in the Rangers game at -103. And also on the full game under on that one, 5.5 plus 100. All right, so let's move on to the 8 o'clock games. Nashville and Minnesota. This is another one. I was thinking about a shot with an under on this one. We know that Minnesota can have trouble scoring at home, although I took them on the -1 line in their last game and won with that one. What do you think about this game? Nashville, obviously, a powerful team.
Well, Dubnyk was just announced right before I came in here as a surprise starter, so I had expected Stalock to be in net, and because of Dubnyk being in goal, I feel like the volatility skyrockets. I don't know what he's going to do. I'm going to lay off this game completely because of that. This is the first of a home-and-home set between these two teams. Preds are 6-2-2 in their last 10, coming off a big 2-1 win on the road at St. Louis to take over the top spot in the Central. Wild are coming off that win that you predicted, the 4-2 win at home over Dallas. That was a great play. Offense has been the problem for the Wild, so I get it. It's just the fact that Dubnyk is in there makes me uncomfortable.
What is your take right now on Nashville's offense?
I think Nashville is such a deep team, and I'm surprised. They're 6-2-2 in their last 10 games, but if it wasn't for that 2-1 win, I believe they were like 0-2-1 in the 3 games previously. They're not scoring to the extent that I expect them to.
Right.
So they're definitely veering under, which surprises me.
Yeah, and Pekka Rinne, good as always, right?
Good as always.
Good as always. All right, I'm going to take the first period under on this one. I'm going to hold off on the full game. I don't really want to double up on it, but I will take the first period under in Nashville, Minnesota. First period under, and the best line there will be -105 at BetOnline, beating Pinnacle's line. First period under 1.5, -105 at BetOnline. All right, Jimmy the Bag. And then we have the Islanders at Winnipeg, and Winnipeg, of course, starting to score. The Islanders, of course, we had them on the over in the Buffalo game, and if you remember, that total was weirdly not very high, and I'll be damned if the game didn't go under. And now, of course, Islanders have a strong home edge and much less impressive on the road. What's your take on this one?
Well, the big story is the Jets losing Mark Scheifele.
Right.
6 to 8 weeks. This is a devastating blow to the Jets. They don't have a lot of depth down the middle. I saw this Winnipeg Jets team for years with Mark Little as their number one line center, and Little just can't do the job. He's just... Now, their power play will still be great. They don't really need Scheifele for the power play, but he's an important guy 5-on-5. You can also put him on to defend the other team's top center. He's such a quality player, and it's going to be a huge loss. Islanders have won 2 straight after losing 4 or 5. One of those wins was an easy 5-2 victory over these Jets. The concern is Islanders' 30th ranked penalty killing will be tested by this Jets number 4 ranked power play. And I'm telling you, the Jets power play it's all about Line A and Ehlers. It doesn't really matter that Scheifele's not there just for the power play. But I like the Islanders here. I just think that the Jets might be able to keep it together for a game or two, but they're going to be a good team to bet against without Scheifele. I'm going to start doing it right now.
You don't think that the Jets are going to come to play here just because of the revenge factor? They know they have to buckle down with the injury, and for this game, they're a good bet?
I just don't think they have depth down the middle. I was like, man, because Scheifele, I've had him in hockey pools in the past. He's an injury-prone guy. He goes into the dirty areas, and I was thinking this whole year, oh no, what if Scheifele goes down? Who are they going to be able to move to center? I can't figure out who they're going to be able to move to center. They have a guy who's a second leading scorer in the AHL that they're calling up, but these guys have a tough time making the transition into the NHL. Yes, it makes me uncomfortable for that first game, but I'm going to start fading the Jets every game, and I think I will win in the long run.
Okay, but you're taking them tonight or not?
I'm taking the Islanders tonight.
You're taking the Islanders tonight. Wow. Okay, the best line is +122 at multiple places. Jim with a lot of NHL picks tonight, adding on the Islanders money line +122. All right, now let's move on to the 8:30 game, St. Louis and Dallas. Dallas, of course, great at home, but maybe this is a spot where they get caught. What do you think? You lean St. Louis here? Or
it's impossible to lean St. Louis, but I'm going to take the under. But it's impossible to lean St. Louis. Blues are 2-6-0 over their last 8. They've scored multiple goals just 3 times over that stretch. They've been shut out 3 times, scored just once 3 times. They're clearly missing Jaden Schwartz. He's the engine to this offense. He's also one of my favorite players in the league. We don't have time to really go into these to stories like this, but Jaden Schwartz, he showed so much character early in his career. His sister Mandy was the star of Yale's women's hockey team, and she died of leukemia in 2011. He changed his number to 17 because it was her number, and he's just such a character guy and easily one of my favorite players in the NHL. And it was unclear who was making that Shen, Tarasenko, Schwartz line go. They were probably the best line in hockey in the early part of the season, in the first 20 games of the season, and it was Schwartz. He is the guy that makes this offense go. Tarasenko has 3 goals in his last 17 games, doesn't have an even strength goal since November 18th, and this is another reason why I really like this under. The Blues aren't scoring, but their penalty killing has been impenetrable. They've killed off 43 of their last 45 penalties. That's incredible. The Blues have already defeated the Stars twice this year. Both games were in St. Louis. The Stars have been bad against Central Division rivals, going just 6-9-0. The Stars are 12-4-1 at home, like you said. And Ben and Seguin are not to be trusted, but they play well at home. Seguin has 20 of his 34 points there. Ben is on a 6-game home scoring streak. They play better at home. I don't find them as being real character guys. And I like the under here. I'm going to take it.
All right. It just concerns me that Dallas gets a lot of shots on goal, don't they? I believe they're one of the league leaders in shots on goal, right?
They are, and their power play was so good and is not as good. But Hitchcock will always be a defensive coach, and he's been a defensive coach all his life. And I thought that was going to really bother Ben and Seguin. That was one of the reasons why I took them to not make the playoffs at plus 500. I thought I have $100 on them at plus 500, not make the playoffs. I thought that Ben and Seguin would get irritated with Hitchcock. Hitchcock's a really strict coach, and the Blues aren't scoring, and their penalty kill is great, and the Stars are comfortable on the power play. I just think this is a nice spot.
All right, the Blues are on a current run of 9 straight unders, and Jimmy the Bag going to go for a 10th here. 5.5 minus 118 is the best line right now on the under. I'm going to hold off on that one. Let's move on to Toronto, Colorado. Toronto now, all of a sudden, a big offensive team. We can expect offensive explosions from them game in and game out. Colorado, of course, at home on a back-to-back lost against Arizona. Is Toronto going to come in here and get another big win? Do we like the over here? Do we like Toronto on the puck line? What do we like here, Jim?
Well, we did get some inside information that the Leafs got in extremely late last night to Colorado after their 7-4 thrashing. They've now won 3 of their last 4, and the Avs are coming off a very disappointing 3-1 loss to the Coyotes. They had just 13 shots on goal through 2 periods. They've now just won 2 of their last 7 home games. This is a sneaky, trappy spot, and I'm uncomfortable with it, and I'm leaving the game alone. Them coming in so late after a game that meant a lot to the team because Austin Matthews is from Arizona. He's from Phoenix. They wanted to give him a good show, and Austin looked great. They get in at 4 or 5 in the morning, and the Avalanche are hungry after playing so poorly. I'm going to leave this game alone. I'm concerned about it.
What do you think about a shot with the under on this one after the big offensive explosion from Toronto? I was cashing with some Toronto unders recently, especially when they had games where the totals were 6, and this is a game where the total is 6. What do you think about maybe a shot with the under here? Although Colorado has been a big overtrender on the year in general, and particularly at home, or not particularly at home, just on the year in general.
I think if there was a spot to take it, and I looked at this quite a bit myself, it would be here, getting the 6. The Leafs, but we were waiting for this Leafs to get back to their offensive explosions, and we knew it was just Matthews that was going to be the difference. I think this is a good spot for that, but I feel like the volatility is so high with the Leafs coming in so late, and I'm just going to stay away from it.
All right, and then Chicago, Edmonton, another game where I was thinking about a shot with an under here. What's your take on that game, if any, Jim?
Well, we still don't know who's going to be in goal. I don't know if any of you guys know who's going to be in goal, because as I said, I hope it's not Jeff Glass tonight, because I want to bet on the Blackhawks when he is in net in his first game. 32-year-old. He's had a very interesting career and is about to get his first game. And I hope it's not tonight. The Blackhawks are not getting any offense at all. The only guy who's doing anything is Patrick Kane. I can't believe how desperately they could use Panarin. I can't believe Sayed has 6 assists on the year. Oilers have now won 4 straight. They're getting Clefbaum back tonight. They just got Sekera back. Now they're going to have a good defense. They're going to look good the rest of the season with these guys. Blackhawks just looked awful in the 5-2 loss to the Canucks. I'm taking the Oilers on the puck line.
The Oilers on the puck line. Okay. Also, do you have anything to say about Calvin Pickard, the goalie for who's expected to start for Toronto?
Wow, Pickard.
Yeah.
Against Toronto.
What?
Because don't we have McElhaney? Isn't McElhaney Toronto's backup?
No, he's hurt. McElhaney's hurt.
Oh, wow. Calvin Pickard. Well, Pickard will be going against his old team.
Right.
I believe Pickard played for the Avalanche.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Wow, that's a huge change. I didn't know McElhaney was hurt. Well, I mean, you're going to deal with a guy who wants to prove his old team that he was worth keeping.
Right.
But I sure think Picard is susceptible. The Leafs had such a tough time finding a backup till McElhaney started up. Yeah. It's a very difficult time. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him. That changes things a great deal.
Yeah. All right, so with the Chicago-Edmonton game, you like the Edmonton puck line.
I do.
All right. Jim's going to take the Edmonton puck line, and that is going to be best line plus 152 at Pinnacle right now. Plus 152. And what do you think? I was thinking about a shot with the under here, but if you like the puck line, then presumably you think Edmonton's going to put up a bunch of goals, or you just think Chicago's going to get shut down?
I think Chicago is going to get shut down on this road trip. So... It's a higher one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at 6. It's a 6 minus 105 at Bet Online. I can take that one.
Wow, yeah, I think that is a good spot. The Blackhawks are having trouble scoring. The only worry I'd have is Forsberg in goal for the Blackhawks. I think if you find out that Jeff Glass is playing, I think that would be a really nice coup for you to get it at that line. Forsberg looked really bad last night, and he's not a bad goalie, so I expect him to improve.
All right, I'm going to take the under here, under 6 minus 105. That's the line at Bet Online. Yeah, I'm going to just take it one way. I'm not going to take the first period on that one. And then what else? We have Calgary, Anaheim. You have anything to say about that one, Jim?
I do. As you guys know, I believe in this Duck squad. I'm taking them on the puck line. Flames are coming off a 3-2 shootout loss to the Sharks last night. They've now scored 2 goals or fewer in 6 of their last 7 games. They're 2-3-2 over that stretch. Like we expected, Kessler looked awful in his first game back. He was a -3, won 46% of his faceoffs in 16.5 minutes. But he's back with his old line. And he says, I think Kessler's just such an asshole. I know some personal stuff about him when he was in Vancouver that I won't bother getting into here, but I really dislike the guy. I know so many stories about him, but just to give you an idea of what he is, this is a simple story. My friend was his waiter at the Keg, and nobody said a word for an hour and a half at the dinner. Not one word. He was with his wife, his children. Not one word was spoken throughout the dinner. That's the kind of guy. This is a very intense guy, which can help in some situations, but. And he's really happy to be back on that line with Silverberg. He's got the Silverberg Cogliano Kessler line is a pretty good line. They can do a lot of different things. I like this Ducks team moving forward. As soon as Kessler can get back in the flow of things, Corey Perry's close to coming back. The Ducks will almost be completely healthy for the first time all year. And I like the Ducks. The Flames had a tough game against the Sharks last night. Yeah. You did hit on the under, right?
No, I had Calgary -1, and they were up 2-1 at the end. I was thinking they were going to get an empty netter, but they wound up losing, so I had to take a loss on that one. Yeah.
I like the Ducks on the puck line here, and I'm getting a huge number.
Yeah, best line is at UWager plus 225.
Ooh, you know what? If I look at, we asked for the best bet now. That you take in the odds that you're getting into account for your best bet. Right. That to me is the best spot I have on the card. Plus 225, I think, is just absolutely juicy.
That's the line right now at UWager. And I'm going to tail you on this one, Jim. I'm going to take them on the -1 line. Bet365 has -130. That's the best one, money line, and I will take that one and add it to the plus 225 puck line at UWager, and I'll take that one. I'll take Anaheim -1 as well. I was leaning that way. Anaheim -1 is going to be a pick for me. -130 on the money line at Bet365 and plus 225 UWager for the puck line. All right, Jimmy the Bag. That's it. We've run out of NHL games, if you can believe that. Let's review all the picks, and then I want to quickly get to some comments just because we have so much shit to cover. We're only doing one show a day, so we don't have as much time to get to comments as we would like, but I want to see what some of the people have to say. I did see one comment that made me concerned. Pekka Rinne has been dog shit lately. Would you agree with that?
I did read that too.
Would you agree with that, Jim?
You know what?
Strong.
It is a little. You know what? I'm gonna bring up his stats for the last 5 games at least, just so we can get a better idea.
All right, bring up his stats, and I will review all the picks. I've given a bunch now. New Jersey -1 is a pick for me. Detroit first period under -103, and the full Louisville game under 5.5 plus 100. The Minnesota game with Pekka Rinne in goal.
Jeff Glass is starting for Chicago.
There you go.
And I think that's a much better spot.
And I already got the under. All right, Minnesota first period under. I took that one at minus 105. Rinne has been dog shit. Anaheim -1. I was leaning that way, and it's a tale of Jim. And I took the Edmonton game under 6 minus 105 with Jeff Glass starting for Chicago. And Jimmy the Bag, a bunch of picks. New Jersey puck line plus 165. Rangers money line minus 109. And the Rangers game under 5.5 plus 100. Carolina game over 5.5 minus 110. Ottawa money line plus 113. Anaheim puck line plus 225. Edmonton puck line plus 152. Islanders money line plus 122. And the Dallas game under 5.5 minus 118. Those are all of Jimmy the Bag's NHL picks.
I got Pekka Rinne's stats up here. So he had, in his last 5 games, he got lit up in 6.5 minutes against Carolina.
Right.
So he gets lit up, 4 goals allowed. He makes 2 saves in 6 shots. 2 saves in 6 shots, and then comes back, and then 2 nights before against Winnipeg, he allows 5 goals on 35 shots. But in the last 5 games, he still has a .915 save percentage. Right. He stopped 29 out of 30 against St. Louis. He pitched a shutout against Calgary and only allowed 1 goal against Vancouver. So.
And part of this is that Minnesota just has an offense that is not necessarily going to be explosive or challenge people on a night in and night out basis, right?
I agree. That's the problem. And they need Parise back. He's now playing with the AHL team. I don't know how much he's going to do really at his age, but I do think he will be a help. Our friend Cup of Sun wants me to mention to you that he is still sending you psychic healing.
Oh God, thank you so much.
So your picks can be crystal clear.
Okay, just for the picks. It's not for my personal happiness, right?
No.
If you could send some to stop the shivering and shaking while I go to sleep at night, that would might be a nice little Christmas present, New Year's present there, Cup of Sun. Thank you so much, Cup of Sun. No, really appreciate it. We go for the jokes always here, and let's just review some of these comments just to see. Sean Thompson says, "Ducks. That's the only bet I like in hockey. When Bag throws out a confident puck line on a team like I-tail." I agree with that completely. I'm on that one as well. And again, that's one where it's all about the odds. You're right. The puck line plus 225. Arizona on the money line minus 130. If that one loses, I'll be okay considering the odds that we got there. Let's see. Okay, thank you so much. Cup of Sun, psychic Cup of Sun for the psychic healing vibes. I really appreciate that. I believe in that shit. Let's see. Scott Pierce says, "You're good guys. Appreciate your show and your efforts. Thank you so much." I can assume that Scott Pierce is not someone who's thumbs downing the show. Udumporn Ratanafakti says, "Ducks money line for me." Very nice. Ish Kurt says, "Amazing call on the Ducks. Not just a solid play, not just a great analysis. Amazing call." You blew Ish Kurt's mind there.
Thanks,
on
pal.
the Cups. All right, on the Ducks.
Did you see what Aspire to Elate has said?
No, I did not.
Says Granny wants to know who is this so-called girl Pete has.
Granny is jealous. Yeah, I can tell. I don't know how old this broad is. She could be 80 as well. You can't tell. Down here, people who are like 13 look like they're 45, and people who are 50 look like they're 12. It's all over the place in Costa Rica. Did you notice that some people I noticed that everyone looks really young here. Even like young people look young, the old people look young. You know what? I think it's something in the moisture.
Well, we are in a blue zone.
Yeah, right. Exactly. All right, let's see. I'm just looking at some other comments here. Comments here. Sean Thompson says, "My best NBA bet is Raptors minus 11. Gimme." What do you think about that?
They absolutely destroyed Atlanta, but I really like the Atlanta's 1-5 right now. I like the moving John Collins to center. I like the way Ilyasova's playing. I love Dennis Schroeder. Now we're dealing with a Raptors team that can run with Schroeder, which will make it more difficult for him. But I can see why you want to make that play. And the last 2 games were I expect them to come out hard. I think that is a really sharp play, and I probably should have taken it.
Some other comments saying that they did like the Tampa Bay over game, the Tampa Bay game over. D. Hall says was liking the over in Tampa Bay, Pete. Bill Perry saying take the over. You just don't like it because Philly can't really score necessarily. Can't be relied on to score.
I also don't like it because Tampa, who we've been using for the overs, is not scoring a lot right now. I think that is almost more of the reason when their power play is not going. They needed a 5-on-3 to break that 0-for-13 drought.
Yeah, and Ishkert predicts Tampa Bay 4-1, which is how their games have been going. They're kind of on a roll now of getting dominant wins that still go under as a big favorite at home. So, yeah, I'm going to stay off that one. Walter Trotter says, "Love you guys. Happy New Year." Thank you so
Walter
much,
Trotter.
Walter Trotter.
We haven't seen Walter in a while, man.
He is back. Yes, comment from him.
Walter, miss you, pal.
Yeah, I guess we can wrap wrap it up. I guess we can wrap it up. Let's see. Udon Porn Ratana Fakti with a nice comment here. Thank you for good show, Pete and Jimmy. You're very welcome. Udon Porn Ratana Fakti for that lovely, well-mannered comment. All in appropriate letters. The letters that were supposed to be capitalized were capitalized, and the letters that were supposed to be
I like being on the same sign as Udon Porn, and we're both with the Ducks, and that, it's a nice spot to be.
That's it. That's it. We're done for 2017. We'll see you in 2018. Regardless of what happens tonight, we're going to come back in with some nicely positive records, right? Overall, which we're very happy about, and we're hoping to make it even more positive as the months go by in 2018. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you on January 2nd.
Have a happy new year, everybody.